Admiral George Taylor stood alone at the viewing window of the USS Vanguard, Earth's most advanced warship. The stars shone cold and distant against the black of space. His weathered face reflected in the glass, lines etched deep from years of command and the weight of humanity's future resting on his shoulders. 50 years had passed since humans first met the aliens called Zorians. Taylor remembered that day well. He had been a young lieutenant then, watching the broadcasts like everyone else on Earth. The Zorian ships had appeared suddenly, their technology far beyond human understanding. People feared the worst, but the aliens came with gifts and promises of friendship. For 3 years, everything seemed perfect. The Zorians shared medical knowledge that cured diseases. They helped improve Earth's space travel capabilities. Trade routes opened. Some humans even visited Zorian worlds. Earth entered what many called a golden age. "Admiral, we'll reach Proxima." "Centauri in 30 minutes, said Commander Alan West, interrupting Taylor's thoughts. West stood straight, his uniform crisp and perfect, dark eyes focused. "Thank you, Commander. Is Dr. Bennett ready with her presentation?" Taylor asked. "Yes, sir. Though she still disagrees with our approach." Taylor nodded slowly. "I expected nothing less. Olivia always believes in second chances." The Admiral turned from the window and walked across the bridge. The crew worked quietly at their stations, each person aware of how much depended on this mission. The Vanguard represented the pinnacle of human engineering, built after the Zorian betrayal with technology, reverse-engineered from their gifts. Taylor entered the strategy room where Dr. Olivia Bennett stood reviewing data on a large screen. Her gray hair was pulled back neatly, her expression concerned as she looked up. "George, we need to reconsider our message," she said without greeting. "Threatening 17 species with destruction will only unite them against us." Taylor sighed. "Olivia, we've been through this. When the Zorians attacked our lunar colonies without warning, they killed 12,000 innocent people. Commander, Wright's counterattack was fully justified." "I'm not arguing about the past," Bennett replied, her voice firm but gentle. "I'm worried about our future. This summit is a chance for real peace." Before Taylor could respond, Officer Frank Carter entered the room. His youthful face looked troubled, his usually neat brown hair slightly messy as if he had been running, his hands through it. "Admiral Doctor, I've found something you need to see," Carter said, placing a small device on the table. A holographic display appeared above it, showing communication logs and flight patterns. This data suggests the Zorian attack wasn't their idea alone. Someone else pushed them to it. Taylor leaned forward, examining the evidence. "Explain." "These are deep space communications from 6 months before the attack. The patterns don't match known Zorian protocols. And look here," Carter pointed to a series of numbers. "These coordinates. Zorian ships met with unknown vessels in neutral space 9 times before the attack." Dr. Bennett moved closer. "Who were they meeting with?" "I don't know yet," Carter admitted, "but I found similar communication patterns with 3 other species who will be at the summit." Taylor's expression darkened. "You think someone orchestrated the attack? To what end?" "To test us, perhaps," Bennett suggested. "To see how we would respond." "Well, they got their answer," Taylor said grimly. "Commander Wright not only drove them back but followed them to their staging area and destroyed their attack fleet." The room fell silent as the 3 considered the implications. The Vanguard's engines hummed steadily, carrying them toward a meeting that might determine humanity's place among the stars. "Sir, this could change our approach," Bennett said carefully. "If the Zorians were manipulated, it doesn't change what happened," Taylor cut in. 12,000 dead, families destroyed, Luna City still being rebuilt. He straightened his uniform jacket. "But it does mean we watch everyone very carefully at this summit." The ship's communication system activated. "Admiral Taylor, we're receiving a transmission from Earth. It's Vice Admiral Harris." "Put it through," Taylor ordered. The screen on the wall activated, showing the stern face of Vice Admiral Diane Harris. She sat at her desk at Earth Defense Command, maps and reports visible behind her. "George, the Defense Council has reviewed your mission parameters. There's been a change." Harris looked tired. the responsibility of protecting Earth evident in her expression. Intelligence suggests possible hostile action at the summit. We've dispatched the Eastern Fleet to position themselves near Proxima Centauri, cloaked and ready. Taylor nodded. That confirms Carter's findings. We have reason to believe the Zorian attack was influenced by another party. Harris looked surprised. Your intelligence officer is good. We only confirmed this 3 hours ago. She leaned forward. George, the council is divided. Some want a preemptive strike against any perceived threats. Others urge caution. President, Clark has given you final authority on site. Understood. We'll proceed as planned, but stay alert, Taylor replied. After the transmission ended, Taylor turned to Bennett and Carter. This summit just got more complicated. Carter, keep digging. Find out who's pulling the strings. Olivia, we'll adjust our diplomatic approach slightly, but the core message remains. Earth will not tolerate another attack. As Taylor left the strategy room, the Vanguard dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Through the main viewport, the Proxima Centauri system appeared, its red dwarf star casting a bloody light on the assembled alien ships. 17 species had answered the call to this neutral meeting ground, their vessels of various designs reflecting their cultures and technologies. At the center floated the summit station, a massive structure built by the Rigelians, the oldest known spacefaring race. Its circular design accommodated representatives from dozens of species, with environmental chambers suited to each biology. Admiral, Commander West called, we're being scanned by multiple vessels. Taylor took his place, in the command chair. Let them scan. They'll find exactly what we want them to see. What the scans wouldn't detect was the Vanguard's true defensive and offensive capabilities. After the Zorian betrayal, Earth had learned the value of keeping secrets. Open a channel to the station, Taylor ordered. Inform them that Earth's representatives have arrived. As the Vanguard approached its docking position, Taylor watched the alien ships. Somewhere among these representatives was an enemy who had manipulated the Zorians into attacking Earth. Someone who had underestimated humanity's resolve and capability. They're about to receive our warning, Taylor said quietly. Let's hope they're wise enough to heed it. The summit station hung in space like a giant metal flower, its petals formed by docking bays where ships from 17 different worlds connected. Admiral Taylor, Dr. Bennett, and Officer Carter walked through the arrival chamber, flanked by 4 security officers in Earth's navy blue uniforms. The station's main hall was designed by the ancient Rigelians to impress. Massive columns rose 30 meters high, supporting a domed ceiling that displayed a real-time map of the galaxy. The delegations from each world gathered in small groups, some talking quietly, others watching the humans with obvious distrust. They're afraid of us? Dr. Bennett whispered to Taylor. Good, Taylor replied. Fear keeps people honest. Carter scanned the room, taking mental notes of each species. The blue-skinned Arcturans stood tall and lean. The reptilian Zorians kept to themselves, their scales reflecting the light. In the corner, 3 Rigelians observed everything, their silver robes and pale, aged faces giving them an appearance of wisdom. A small, round alien approached them. It moved on 6 short legs and spoke through a translation device. Welcome, Earth delegation. I am Coordinator Zool of the Summit Station. Your quarters are prepared. The alien's large eyes blinked rapidly. The council meets in 1 hour. Thank you, Coordinator, Dr. Bennett said with a slight bow. We look forward to productive discussions. As they followed Zool toward their rooms, Carter moved closer to Taylor. Admiral, the Zorian ambassador is watching us. His name is Vextra, former military commander. Taylor nodded without looking back. Any sign of unusual communications? Not yet, but the Arcturan delegation has met privately with 4 other species since arriving. In their assigned quarters, Taylor removed a small device from his pocket and activated it. A subtle hum filled the room as it created a field blocking all listening devices. Now we can speak freely, he said. Olivia, what's your read on the situation? Dr. Bennett sat down, her face showing concern. The tension is worse than expected. The Rigelian elder didn't greet us, which is unusual for their protocol. I suspect they've been influenced by others. Or they know something we don't, Carter added. Taylor walked to the window overlooking the docking area. The USS Vanguard looked small compared to some of the alien ships, but size wasn't everything. We stick to the plan, he decided. I deliver Earth's message clearly. Olivia works the diplomatic angles. Frank keeps gathering intelligence. If there's a plot against Earth, we need to know before we leave this station. An hour later, they entered the council chamber. 17 raised. Platforms formed a circle around a central speaking area. Each platform held the representatives of one world, with Earth's position directly opposite the Zorians. The Rigelian elder, Torche, began the proceedings. His voice sounded like dry leaves blowing across stone. We gather here at a critical moment in galactic history, Torche said. The conflict between Earth and Zoria threatens the peace of many worlds. Each delegation will present their perspective, beginning with Zoria, as the injured party. Taylor's face hardened at these words. Dr. Bennett placed a warning hand on his arm. The Zorian ambassador, Vextra, moved to the central area. His scales showed burn patterns that hadn't fully healed, evidence of Commander Wright's counterattack. 50 years ago, we extended friendship to the humans, Vextra began. We shared technology and knowledge, yet we were repaid with aggression. Yes, some Zorian ships attacked Earth's moon, but we were not acting of our own will. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Taylor leaned forward. Our leadership was misled by false information suggesting Earth planned to attack us. Vextra continued. When we realized our error and tried to recall our ships, Commander Wright's fleet not only destroyed our forces but followed them to our staging base and annihilated a station containing thousands of civilians. That's a lie, Taylor said, loud enough for nearby delegations to hear. The Arcturan representative moved to the center next. Tall and elegant, she spoke with confidence. The Arcturus Confederation believes Earth's response was excessive. One attack, regrettable as it was, does not justify the complete destruction of Zorian military capabilities. We fear Earth represents a destabilizing force in our region of space. Several delegations nodded in agreement. Dr. Bennett wrote notes rapidly on her tablet. When Earth's turn came, Admiral Taylor stood and walked slowly to the center of the chamber. He took a moment to look at each delegation before speaking. 50 years ago, humanity welcomed the stars with open arms. We accepted the Zorians as friends. We exchanged culture, knowledge, and trust. Taylor's voice remained even, but carried, throughout the chamber. Then, without warning or provocation, Zorian warships attacked our lunar colonies. 12,000 humans died that day. Children, scientists, families. The chamber grew very quiet. Ambassador Vextra claims their attack was based on false information. Perhaps. But that changes nothing for the dead. When Commander Wright pursued the attacking fleet, she found not a civilian station but a military base preparing a second larger attack force. Taylor pointed directly at Vextra. The Zorians planned to hit Earth itself next. The evidence was clear in the ship configurations and weapons being assembled. He turned to address the entire chamber. Humanity came to the stars in peace. We were met with treachery and violence. Our response demonstrated only a fraction of our capability. This is Earth's message. Attack once more, and face annihilation. Not just defeat, annihilation. The chamber erupted in shouts and objections. Even Dr. Bennett looked shocked at Taylor's bluntness. As Taylor returned to Earth's platform, the Rigelian elder called for order. Behind the scenes, Dr. Bennett immediately began moving among the delegations, trying to soften Taylor's message with quiet diplomacy. Officer Carter slipped away during the commotion, following a suspicion. He tracked the Arcturan representative to a private communication room. Using Earth's advanced technology, he managed to intercept fragments of a message being sent. Humans more dangerous than expected. Coalition must accelerate plans. Weapon systems ready. Back in the council chamber as heated discussions continued, the station's alarm suddenly blared. The main view screen activated, showing multiple ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. They were warships of different designs but flying in coordinated formation. Proximity alert, announced the station's computer. Unscheduled fleet, detected. Taylor rushed to the window. The new arrivals positioned themselves in attack formation. A message played through the station's communication system. This council is hereby dissolved. The human threat will be eliminated for the safety of all civilized worlds. Surrender Earth's representatives immediately. Admiral Taylor looked at Dr. Bennett. So much for diplomacy. On the USS Vanguard, Commander West ordered battle stations. The true test of humanity had begun. Chaos erupted in the council chamber as the enemy fleet's message ended. Delegates shouted and pushed toward the exits. The station's lights flickered as the first volley of weapons fire struck the outer shields. Everyone remain calm, Admiral. Taylor's voice cut through the noise. He turned to the station's coordinator. Activate emergency protocols. How strong are your shields? The small alien trembled. They will hold for perhaps 20 minutes against such an attack. Taylor activated his communication device. Commander West, bring the Vanguard to defense position Alpha. Extend shields to cover the station. Yes, Admiral, West replied. But sir, we count 37 enemy vessels. We cannot hold them off alone. We don't need to win. We just need to survive long enough for help to arrive. Taylor looked at Dr. Bennett. Olivia, find us some allies. We need ships. Bennett nodded and rushed toward the Rigelian delegation. Officer Carter returned, his face tense with urgency. Admiral, I intercepted communications. This attack was planned before we even arrived. The Arcturans are leading a coalition of 12 species against Earth. They believe we're too dangerous to exist. Taylor's expression darkened. Then we'll show them dangerous. He addressed the panicking delegates. This station is about to become a battlefield. Any species that stands with Earth, join us now. The rest of you stay out of our way. Through the large windows, they watched the USS Vanguard move into position between the station and the approaching fleet. The human ship looked small against so many enemies, but its experimental shields expanded, creating a blue energy field that enveloped the station. The first barrage hit the Vanguard's shields, which flared but held. The enemy ships adjusted formation, concentrating fire on one section of the shield. Inside the station, Bennett returned with the Rigelian elder and representatives from 4 other species, including, surprisingly, the Zorian ambassador. These delegations will stand with Earth, Bennett announced. The Rigelians say this attack violates all principles of diplomatic conduct. The Rigelian elder, Torshai, stepped forward. We have called our defense vessels. They will arrive in 4 hours. We don't have 4 hours, Taylor said grimly, but we have friends in the neighborhood. He activated his secure channel again. Vice Admiral Harris, we need the Eastern Fleet now. Harris's voice came through. Already on the way, George. ETA 18 minutes. Hold them off. The Zorian ambassador approached Taylor, his scaled face showing what might have been regret. Commander, our ship will join yours in defense. We were manipulated once. We will not be again. Taylor studied the alien carefully before nodding. Take position on the Vanguard's port side. Follow Commander West's lead. As the Zorian ship undocked and moved into defense position, Officer Carter worked with representatives from the allied species, gathering intelligence and coordinating communications. The enemy fleet launched a second, more powerful attack. The Vanguard shields flickered dangerously. Shield capacity at 60%, reported Commander West over the communication link. We've identified the attack fleet composition, ships from 12 different worlds, but they're using synchronized attack patterns. Someone's coordinating them, Taylor said. Find the command vessel. On the bridge of the Vanguard, West ordered detailed scans of all enemy ships. Lieutenant Kelly Peterson, the ship's weapons officer, noticed a pattern. Commander, look at these energy readings. All enemy ships are receiving signals from that vessel at the rear. She pointed to a sleek black ship hanging back from the main attack. West immediately reported this to Taylor. Admiral, we've identified the probable command ship. It's using technology we've never seen before. Inside the station, Taylor gathered his allies. We need to buy time. The Eastern Fleet will be here soon, but we need to disrupt their coordination now. The Rigelian elder offered a solution. We have a short-range teleportation system for emergencies. It could transport a small team to one of the disabled ships floating near the command vessel. Taylor turned to Officer Carter. Frank, take 2 security officers and get aboard that disabled ship. Your mission is to disrupt the enemy command. Structure any way possible. Yes, sir, Carter replied, checking his weapon. Dr. Bennett touched Taylor's arm. George, I'm coming with you to the Vanguard. You'll need a diplomat when reinforcements arrive. The station shook violently as another attack hit. Warning lights flashed throughout the council chamber. Shield failure in 10 minutes, announced the station's computer. Taylor nodded to Bennett. Let's move. As they rushed toward the docking bay where a shuttle waited to take them to the Vanguard, the Zorian ambassador fell into step beside them. Admiral, there is something you must know, he said urgently. This coalition against Earth, many of its members were approached by the same mysterious agents who fed us false information about your planet. We have been played against each other. By whom? Taylor demanded. We don't know their true name. They work from shadows using intermediaries. But their goal seems to be harvesting advanced technology that emerges from conflicts. They reached the shuttle as another explosion rocked the station. Through the viewport they could see the Vanguard, taking heavy damage as it maintained its protective shield around the station. Carter and his team prepared for teleportation to the disabled enemy ship. The Rigelian technicians calibrated their equipment. We can only send you once, the technician explained. The system requires too much power for a return trip. Carter nodded grimly. Understood. We'll find our own way back. With a flash of light, Carter and his team disappeared. Taylor and Bennett reached the Vanguard as its shields weakened further. On the bridge, Commander West relinquished command to Taylor. Status report, Taylor ordered. Shields at 30%, weapons at full capacity. But we've been holding fire to maintain shield strength. The Zorian vessel is taking heavy damage on our port side. Taylor studied the tactical display. Where's that Eastern Fleet, West? 8 minutes out, sir, but I don't think we have 8 minutes. The Admiral made a quick decision. Prepare for emergency jump. Bennett looked alarmed. The jump drive hasn't been tested at such short range. The calculations. Lieutenant Peterson has the calculations, Taylor interrupted. We're jumping directly into the heart of their formation. That's suicide, West protested. That's tactics, Taylor corrected. Program the jump coordinates. Target the space between their command ship and main battle group. As the crew prepared for the desperate maneuver, Taylor opened a channel to all Allied ships. This is Admiral Taylor. The Vanguard is executing an emergency jump. When we do, all Allied vessels focus fire on these coordinates. He sent the location of the enemy command ship. Jump in 30 seconds, announced the ship's computer. Taylor took his seat in the command chair. Bennett, better strap in. This might get rough. The Vanguard's engines powered up, creating a distinct high-pitched whine. The damaged shields flickered as they absorbed one final barrage. Jump now, Taylor ordered. In an instant, the massive human warship vanished from its defensive position and reappeared in the center of the enemy formation. Before the coalition ships could react, Taylor gave his next command: activate the Prometheus protocol. The USS Vanguard materialized in the middle of the enemy fleet, surrounded by hostile ships on all sides. The sudden appearance of the human vessel caught the coalition forces by surprise. For a brief moment, there was silence on the Vanguards. Bridge. Prometheus protocol activated, announced the ship's computer in a calm voice. Admiral Taylor gripped his command chair as the ship vibrated. All power to the transmission array. The Vanguard's exterior changed. Panels shifted to reveal hidden antenna arrays across the hull. A soft blue glow emanated from the ship as it broadcast an invisible signal to all nearby vessels. On the enemy ships, confusion spread rapidly. Their communication systems began playing back contradictory orders. Navigation screens showed Allied ships as enemies. Targeting computers identified friendly vessels as primary threats. It's working, Commander West said, watching the tactical display. The enemy formation was breaking apart as ships turned their weapons on each other. Dr. Bennett stared in shock. What did you do, George? The Prometheus protocol is a cyber warfare system, Taylor explained. It inserts a specialized virus into enemy communication networks, causing their targeting systems to malfunction. They're shooting at each other now. The enemy fleet fell into chaos. Several ships collided while trying to evade friendly fire. Others retreated, unable to distinguish friend from foe. Meanwhile, Officer Carter and his team had successfully boarded the disabled enemy ship, floating near the command vessel. They moved through darkened corridors using the confusion to their advantage. The bridge should be 2 levels up, Carter whispered to his team. We need to access their communication system. As they climbed through the damaged ship, Carter noticed something strange. The interior design didn't match any known species. The control panels had odd configurations, as if designed for hands with too many fingers. They reached the bridge and found it empty except for one dead alien. But this creature didn't look like any delegation at the summit. It had pale gray skin, 6 fingers on each hand, and large black eyes without pupils. "What is that?" asked Security Officer Maria Grant, raising her weapon. Carter approached, cautiously. "I don't know, but I think we just found our puppet master." He examined the ship's computer system. "This isn't Coalition technology. It's far more advanced." He quickly began downloading data from the system. Whatever these creatures are, they've been monitoring and manipulating communications between species for years. Back at the battle, the Vanguard's gambit had bought precious time. The enemy fleet was in disarray when a new group of ships appeared at the edge of the system. "Eastern Fleet has arrived," announced Lieutenant Peterson with relief. Vice Admiral Susan Rivera's voice came through the communication system. "Vanguard, this is Admiral Rivera. Looks like you started the party without us." "Better late than never, Susan," Taylor replied. "We've disrupted their coordination, but the command ship is still operational and retreating. Don't let it escape." The fresh Earth vessels joined the battle, targeting enemy ships still fighting. The Coalition fleet, caught between friendly fire and Earth's reinforcements, began to surrender or retreat. On the disabled alien ship, Carter's team made a disturbing discovery. "Admiral, we've found something," Carter reported over his communication device. "These aliens, they're not from any known civilization. According to these records, they call themselves the Obsidian Collective. They've been manipulating species against each other for centuries." "What's their purpose?" Taylor asked. "Technology harvesting," Carter replied. "They engineer conflicts, then collect the weapons technology that emerges. Earth terrified them because we developed in decades what took other species centuries." A sudden explosion rocked the ship Carter's team was on. "We've been discovered," he reported urgently. "The command ship is targeting us." "Get out of there, Carter," Taylor ordered. "Not yet. I'm sending you all the data we found." Carter worked quickly at the alien computer. "Done. But sir, there's something else you should know. These aliens, they can look like us, like any species. They infiltrate governments." The communication cut off as another explosion hit. Taylor turned to his tactical officer. "Status of the command ship?" "Still retreating, sir. Our fleet is in pursuit, but it's fast. Target its engines. I want that ship stopped, not destroyed. There are answers aboard we need." The combined Earth fleet coordinated their attack on the command ship. The black vessel tried to jump to faster-than-light travel, but the Vanguard locked it in a tractor beam. "We've got it," West announced. Suddenly, the black ship began to glow with energy. Warning alarms sounded on the Vanguard's bridge. "It's overloading its power core," Lieutenant Peterson shouted. "It's going to self-destruct. Release tractor beam." "All ships pull back," Taylor ordered. The black command ship exploded in a blinding flash of light. When the energy dissipated, nothing remained but scattered debris. "Did any escape pods launch?" Taylor asked. "Negative, sir," Peterson replied after checking sensors. "No life signs detected." Taylor rubbed his forehead. They chose destruction over capture. Officer Carter and his team were rescued by a small Rigelian vessel. When they returned to the Vanguard, Carter handed Taylor a small data storage device. "I managed to save the most important files, Admiral. The Obsidian Collective has been operating for at least 300 years. They don't just harvest technology, They guide its development in specific directions. Dr. Bennett joined them, her expression grim. This confirms what the Zorian ambassador told us. We've all been pawns in their game. Taylor studied the tactical display showing the aftermath of the battle. Several coalition ships had been destroyed. Others were surrounded by Earth vessels. The summit station remained intact, protected by the Vanguard's actions. We need to get this information to Earth immediately, Taylor decided. And we need to share it with every species, even those who fought against us today. They deserve to know they were manipulated. As the situation stabilized, Vice Admiral Rivera's flagship docked with the Vanguard. Rivera was a tall woman with short gray hair and a commanding presence. She greeted Taylor with respect. Impressive work, George. Earth Defense Command is already calling this the Battle of Proxima Centauri. It's not over, Taylor replied. Carter's intelligence suggests these Obsidian collective aliens have infiltrated governments across the galaxy, including possibly our own. Rivera's expression hardened. How can we identify them? That's our next challenge. We need to get Dr. Doyle from Earth Science Division working on this immediately. If these aliens can disguise themselves as humans, then anyone could be one of them, Rivera finished. On the bridge view screen, the surviving coalition ships were being escorted by Earth vessels. The Zorian ship, damaged but functional, maintained its position as an ally. Taylor looked out at the stars. We came here to deliver a warning. Instead, we discovered a greater threat than we imagined. But now at least we know who our real enemy is. As the Vanguard prepared to return to Earth with its vital intelligence, a message arrived from Tau Ceti, one of Earth's most distant colonies. Admiral, called Lieutenant Peterson. We're receiving a distress signal from Tau Ceti. Their communication network has gone silent. Taylor and Rivera exchanged worried glances. The battle was over, but the war had just begun. 2 weeks after the Battle of Proxima Centauri, Earth was on full alert. Admiral Taylor stood in the main conference room of Earth Defense Headquarters, surrounded by military leaders and representatives from 5 alien species who had become Earth's allies. The wall screens showed real-time images of Earth's defense fleet orbiting the planet. Ships from the Rigelian, Zorian, and 3 other allied species had joined them, creating the largest combined force ever assembled in the solar system. The situation at Tau Ceti is grim, Taylor reported. We've confirmed that the colony was attacked by ships matching the design of the Obsidian Collective's command vessel. Over 10,000 colonists are dead or missing. The room fell silent for a moment. Dr. Lisa Doyle, Earth's leading scientist on alien biology, stood to present her findings. She was a short woman with determined eyes and quick movements. We've analyzed the data Officer Carter recovered, she said. The Obsidian Collective is a parasitic species that evolved with the ability to mimic other life forms. They don't just look like us, they can access the memories of their hosts. She displayed images on the screen, showing the gray aliens in their natural form, then morphing to resemble humans and other species. We've developed a detection method, Doyle continued. Their unique biology emits a specific radiation signature when exposed to this frequency. She held up a small scanning device. We've already begun testing government officials here on Earth. Taylor nodded grimly. And we've found infiltrators in our own defense council. 3 members have been confirmed as collective agents. Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Vice Admiral Rivera spoke up from her position at the table. The infected officials have been contained. They're being studied to learn more about our enemy. Officer Carter, recently promoted for his actions at Proxima Centauri, presented the intelligence analysis. We believe the Obsidian Collective has infiltrated at least 20 different species across the galaxy. They've been engineering conflicts for centuries, harvesting advanced technology that emerges from these wars. But why target Earth specifically? Asked the Zorian ambassador. Dr. Bennett answered, because we developed too quickly. Humanity went from basic spaceflight to advanced technology in just a few decades. We didn't follow their planned timeline. Taylor moved to the center of the room. Based on the recovered data, we've located what we believe is the Collective's main base of operations, an artificial structure orbiting a pulsar at the galactic core. We're launching a coordinated strike, he displayed the battle plan on the main screen. This will be the largest operation in human history. Our fleet, commanded by Admiral Rivera, will engage the collective's defenses at these coordinates. Meanwhile, I'll lead a covert team to infiltrate their central command structure. Dr. Doyle raised a concern. The detection devices aren't perfect. On your covert mission, you could be surrounded by disguised collective agents. That's a risk we have to take, Taylor replied. We need to access their central communication node. If we can broadcast the truth to all species in the galaxy at once, we might break their control. As the meeting concluded, alarm sirens suddenly blared throughout the facility. The tactical officer rushed in. Admiral, we have multiple hostiles incoming. The collective has launched a direct attack on Earth. The next hours were chaos. Taylor rushed to the command center where operators tracked the massive enemy fleet approaching Earth. Their ships emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system, hundreds of vessels advancing in precise formation. They're not hiding anymore, Taylor observed. This is an extinction-level attack. Earth's combined defense fleet moved to intercept. The space around Earth's orbit became a battleground unlike anything in human history. The Vanguard, repaired and upgraded, since Proxima Centauri led Earth's main battle group. From its bridge, Admiral Taylor coordinated the defense while Vice Admiral Rivera commanded the reserve fleet, positioned behind Earth's moon. They're targeting our orbital defense platforms first, reported Commander West. Standard military doctrine. Taylor studied the enemy formation. But they're being too predictable, almost like they want us to see their strategy. Sir, called Lieutenant Peterson, I'm detecting unusual energy readings from these coordinates just beyond Mars' orbit. Taylor's eyes narrowed. It's a trap. They want us to commit our forces while their real attack comes from another direction. He opened a channel to all Earth ships. This is Admiral Taylor. Defense Group Alpha hold position. All other vessels, pull back to secondary defense line. The battle unfolded in waves. The first collective assault weakened Earth's outer defenses but failed to break through. Their second wave targeted Earth's moon bases, but Rivera's reserve fleet emerged to drive them back. The turning point came when Officer Carter, manning a sensor station, detected a unique energy signature. Admiral, I've found their command ship. It's hiding behind this debris field, directing the attack remotely. Taylor made his decision. Target these coordinates with all available weapons. Rivera, bring your fleet around and cut off their retreat path. Earth's forces converged on the hidden command ship. When it realized it was discovered, the vessel attempted to flee but found itself surrounded. They're powering weapons, West reported. Looks like they plan to fight rather than surrender. Taylor opened a direct channel to the enemy vessel. Attention, Obsidian Collective Command Ship. This is Admiral George Taylor of Earth. Your infiltration has failed. Your attack has failed. Surrender now. There was no response, only increased energy readings as the ship prepared to fire. All vessels open fire, Taylor ordered. The combined firepower of Earth's fleet and its allies tore through the command ship's defenses. As it began to break apart, Taylor noticed something unexpected. Those aren't weapons charging, he realized. That's a communication array powering up. They're sending a message. Earth's communication experts intercepted the transmission. It was a simple repeating signal directed toward the galactic core. The battle continued for hours as the remaining collective ships fought desperately. When the last enemy vessel was finally destroyed or captured, Earth had suffered heavy losses, but remained standing. In the aftermath, Taylor met with Earth's president and the Allied representatives on the Vanguard's observation deck. Earth was visible below them, its blue oceans and white clouds untouched by the battle that had raged in orbit. The signal they sent, Taylor explained, was calling for reinforcements. The collective's main force is still out there, at their base near the galactic core. The president looked troubled. Can we defend against another attack of this scale? We won't have to, Taylor replied, because we're taking the fight to them. He turned to the view screen showing the assembled fleet. We've distributed Dr. Doyle's detection technology to all our allies. The infiltrators are being identified and removed from positions of power across the galaxy. Dr. Bennett joined them, bringing a report. 17 more species have joined our alliance after learning of the collective's manipulation. They're sending ships to join the assault on the collective's base. Taylor looked out at the stars. The collective wanted to test humanity's resolve. They've succeeded beyond their expectations. 3 days later, Taylor stood on the bridge of the USS Vanguard as it prepared to lead the largest fleet ever assembled in known space. Ships from 32 different species formed an armada stretching as far as the eye could see. "This is Admiral Taylor to all vessels," he announced. "Today we strike at the heart of an enemy that has manipulated us all for centuries. Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for the freedom of all species. Remember our warning. Attack once more and face annihilation." The fleet engaged their faster-than-light drives, disappearing in sequence toward the galactic core, carrying humanity's final warning to the stars. 6 months later, representatives from those same 32 species gathered on Earth to sign the Galactic Concordat, a treaty establishing principles of non-interference, mutual defense, and technological cooperation. Admiral Taylor watched the ceremony from the back of the room. Dr. Bennett joined him, now wearing the formal attire of Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Council. "We came close to annihilation," she said quietly. Taylor nodded. "That's why our warning stands. We'll reach for the stars with an open hand, but always keep the other near our sword." Outside the signing hall, Earth's cities gleamed in the sunlight. Children played in parks where memorial statues honored those who died defending the planet. And in orbit above, ships from across the galaxy moved peacefully through space. A new era dawning for all species who looked up at the stars and wondered what the future might bring.